All right, today we are going to learn all about cilantro. It's a crop that has given us a run for our money for a few months and struggled to get consistent yields, but through a lot of trial and error, we've been able to consistently grow a cilantro crop free of a lot of the seeds that like to stick onto the crop. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people on YouTube ask questions of other growers, and everybody seems to have their own way. However, I like our way better, so let's get into it. So first we start off with our cilantro seed. I've, I've heard of a lot of people recommending the split seed. To be honest, I haven't messed around with the split seed. When I first started, I bought a bunch of the round seed that has two plants that grow out of each seed. And since I had a bunch of the seed, I was determined to make it work before I went out and changed it up. To this day, we continue to use the round seed. Haven't noticed a lot of the common issues that people face with the round seed. So when we're seeding a flat, each flat gets about 4 tablespoons of the round seed, and we soak the seed overnight. So before I go to bed, the day before planting, I take 4 tablespoons per flat, and depending on how many flats, we figure out the math. We soak them overnight in a large bowl, just standard tap water, and in the following morning, we drain the water out, we put it in a strainer, and we let the seed kind of dry out just a little bit. Not a lot, but enough to where the seed, when it's wet, it has a tendency to stick to itself. And so when you're sprinkling the seed over the flat, it'll clump together and you get these large clumps all throughout the flat of just seeds stuck together. So we like to put it next to a fan for a little bit, dry it out just a little bit to get the outer shell dry enough to be able to spread and disperse evenly. And so here's a little bit what I was talking about, a strainer, and the seeds kind of just fall apart individually, and that's about a good dryness. The seeds are still wet, however, they're not sticking together too bad. Next, I take 4 tablespoons, measure out 4 tablespoons, and I put it in this little container here. You can use whatever you can find around the house, personal preference. So we got 2, we got 3, and like I said, this is the soaked seed that is dried out just slightly. I'm going to try and do this one-handed here. And then I start on the edges and just lightly broadcast the seed, not too densely. I like doing the edges first. Sorry, I normally do this with my right hand. It's funny, even though I'm left-handed. I'm one of those weird ones. I've seen other videos where they like to, make the video shorter, skip a few steps, so just bear with me. I feel like I need to show this entire process because a lot of you have asked to see the entire process. So we'll switch hands here. I can do this a lot better when I'm not multitasking holding the camera, so forgive me. But try and get it as evenly as possible. If there's any, piled up seeds like that, just kind of spread them out. So that's the thickness you wanna get, give or take. Like I said, each one of these seeds will grow 2 plants, and so you don't want to get too thick because then your crop won't grow efficiently. And then the next step we're going to do is we're going to cover the top layer. See here, we've left a little bit of a lip, so that'll allow us to be able to sprinkle soil on top, and we'll do that step next. So after we've broadcasted the seed, I take a spray bottle. There's many variations of this. I like the one with the narrow spout there. We water the edges. The edges are the quickest to dry out. So this part's not critical, but it's an important step in our eyes. So I give it a generous watering along the corners here. And then in the middle section, I still am pretty generous, but I move just a little bit faster. That's the main section that the flats are going to be coming in contact with, and it just doesn't dry out as quickly. This caused us a lot of problems with dampening off and mold issues on the top. So like I said, start with the edges and the corners. Be pretty generous with your spraying because those dry out the quickest, and then the middle part, give it a nice thorough spritz or misting, or I don't know what you want to call it. And then after this step, we put soil on top, which after this, we don't water it at all. The top layer of soil that we put on is not watered, and it's just to cover this moist area and the seeds. All right, we went ahead and put a couple handfuls of soil just right on top, just down the center. And now we want to evenly disperse it to the very top edge of the flat. You don't need a lot of soil, just a quarter to a half an inch, just to barely cover the seed. And this is going to help shed that seed, that stubborn seed that likes to hang on to the crop. Some people use vermiculite or perlite. I like to keep my product list simple, and so we use soil for the bottom of the flat, and I figured soil for the top of the seed is good enough. So after you've evenly spread it out, we take our little flat here and just press it down, and this helps get an even germination throughout the crop. And then clean up the edges a little bit. And then we put it on the shelf for stacking. Now we'll stack our cilantro. Here's an example. We go 5 tall, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we put another flat on top of that, and then the cinder block paver that a lot of growers use comes very handy. These pavers, we like them a lot. So this stack here has been covered for currently about 7 days, and you can see things are starting to grow. No mold because of these ridges. They keep a little bit of airflow. And we'll probably uncover this in about 3 days. It takes about 8 to 10 days to germinate to how we like it. And if we'll come over here, we have another crop of cilantro that was uncovered today, actually. You can just see I haven't gone through and picked out any seeds. We've got a really, really clean flat of cilantro. All right, so after they've germinated for about 8 to 10 days, we walk over here, and here's a crop that has been under the lights for maybe another week. And you can just see gorgeous green crop. There's a few seeds, not a big deal. You just come in and pick those out. It gets very inefficient when your entire flat has seeds like this. But as you can tell, most of this flat and these flats are very, very, very clean. No seeds. I have not come through this and picked out any seeds for the video. And under the lights, we'll give it probably another week. There's a few true leaves forming. You can see here. And we need to wait until a majority of the flat has the true leaves. The chefs really like to see that true leaf in our market. Some people just grow for the cotyledon leaves. Not us. We like to be able to easily identify the crop. So that's cilantro in a nutshell. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer them in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think of the channel so far. This is only our second video, but we're having fun doing it. One more thing before I go, I wanted to show you these cool labels my brother made us. He's an artist, and I'm a stickler for nice, neat, professional labeling crops, everything we do. And he put that together. There you go. So that's what cilantro should look like, in our opinion. That's what we strive for in all of our growing for the cilantro. Brick House Growers, that's the name of the company. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to hit us up in the comments. Thank you.